Alright, so here is the German red strawberry tomato. And like all my other tomatoes this year, you can see the suffering that it took from the massive amount of rain and the intense heat wave. But yet it did put out a few tomatoes, not exactly as many as I wanted this year. It's just the way it goes sometimes. You put a lot of effort in and you get very little out. So anyways, I do have a few tomatoes that did come off it. Now for some reason they're turning out yellow, and I'm not exactly sure why they're coming out yellow, but I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be pink in color, but these are coming out yellow in color. German red strain strawberry tomatoes. So this is supposed to be German red, but they're coming out yellow. I don't know. So anyway, I just want to give you an early look at this plant because I'm probably going to take most of it down. I'm going to see if I can get this thing cut halfway and get these lower shoots to pop up, and maybe I'll get lucky and get a second harvest this year. So we'll see what happens, but I need to do this in order for me to try to get some decent production, which I didn't get at all this year. But I wanted to give you a look at what they look like now, and then when we go to the review part, they will be ripened at that point. But I want to show you the plant now before I take it down. So, all right. So, yeah, it's a regular leaf tomato plant, and it's an indeterminate tomato, as far as I know. I will double check that. You'll get the right information in the description. Again, I didn't look this up, so you can see there's some nice hefty tomatoes on here. A lot of different weird shapes coming out of it this year. Just gorgeous. This one's coming out like a beefsteak, and just gorgeous. Now this plant fell over a couple times. That's why those tomatoes are sitting on the bottom, because this plant fell over and it knocked off a bunch of tomatoes. I managed to save those two tomatoes. The other ones got chewed up by animals. So I don't know. That's just the way it goes, right? But anyway, I'll see you at the bench. All right, so we're up to the tomato review part of the video for the German red tomato, supposedly, but I've been letting these ripen for a while to see if they will eventually turn red, and they're not turning red. They're staying a orange or golden color. Now I did some research online. There is a orange German strawberry tomato. Apparently that is what this is, because I have grown these in the past and they were red. So somewhere along the line, one of the seeds that got into this tomato plant, or one or two of the seeds that got in there, are apparently a orange version. So this review is really going to be about the German orange strawberry tomato. So I'll make sure I title it correctly and everything, but originally it was supposed to be the German red, just so you know. So I'm going to have to switch this over to the German orange because that is what this is. So let's take a closer look at this tomato. And as you can see, it's an oxheart tomato, and it's a very beautiful tomato. This is very fluted for a tomato, for one of these oxhearts. Normally they don't get this fluted, but this one's got a lot of fluting on it. Actually, all of these tomatoes are kind of fluted. You can see this one's not quite as much of an oxheart, but you can see it's wanted to be an oxheart. So it's a very gorgeous looking tomato. I'm very infatuated with this tomato. But unfortunately, I wanted to grow the red version because I haven't grown it in several years. And out of all things to come out of it was the orange version. So it's very strange to me. I'm not sure if maybe the genetics of the variety of tomato turn orange, because you have to ask yourself the question, why are some of the German reds coming out as orange tomatoes? And I've seen read other articles on people with this tomato when they grew it and it came out as an orange version. So it could just be that seeds were getting mixed up in there, an orange version and a red version. There's not much history on the tomato, so I can't really elaborate on it. What I can tell you is it is an indeterminate tomato. It's a regular leaf tomato, and it's an oxheart tomato. And so let's show you the inside. Now I cut one of the smaller ones open, just so you know. I cut the little one open, and I'll show you what the inside looks like. Now that's a very meaty tomato. That is literally 90% meat on that tomato. Now, is the other tomato going to be that good, you know, thick? And I don't know. Let's cut it open and find out. I have to process these tomatoes anyway, so they're not going to go to waste. I can't leave them out forever. Yeah, look at how meaty that is on the inside. Look at how much flesh there is. It's barely any seeds. This would make a fantastic sauce tomato because there's so much flesh in it, you don't need very many tomatoes to do it with. You know, maybe a half dozen, a dozen tomatoes, and you can make dinner for the night with tomato sauce. And it won't take you that long to cook it down. There's not much moisture in it, I would imagine. So let's do a Brix on it. And let's see what our Brix meter reading is this year. It's kind of low. It's 6 on the Brix. 6 on the Brix. It seems to be a common number this year. So I'm not expecting it to be very sweet, but you can't really totally go by that. Sometimes, even though it says 6, depending on the type of sugar it develops, you do get a pretty good sweet flavor on it. So let's give it a taste test and see what it tastes like. It wasn't very sweet, so it was accurate. Tangy part, the flesh part wasn't that tangy. It was actually, you know, sweetness wise, I'm going to say it was about 25. Tangy part, I'm going to say was, I'd probably say like 32 or something like that, a little higher than 30. It was really tangy compared to sweetness, but not really tangy where your mouth puckered. But the skins were very tangy. So as I chewed up those skins, the real tanginess came out of them. Real tangy. Those skins were as tangy as a grape skin. But it did have an interesting flavor to it, which I'm going to cut this one open here. A little bit of bug damage over there. Cut that off. I want to try to describe that. There's a little bit of a flavor to this. It's a very interesting flavor. What I can say is it's got a nice tomato flavor to it. It's a very meaty tomato, not a lot of seeds, so you're literally, it's like eating into a peach, the side of a peach. A very fleshy type tomato, so it's very nice. But it does have like a little bit of its own flavor to it. Almost like a berry type flavor, almost like a strawberry. Very slight berry essence in there. You could pick that up when you eat the tomato. So I kind of found that a little odd. I don't normally find that with tomatoes, but this tomato is really exhibiting some kind of berry-like flavor to it as an aftertaste. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's not a red version. I don't know if reds and golds come out of the same plant. I don't know. I'm not getting any red ones this year, so I'm assuming that they're all going to be gold in color or orange. It's actually listed as an German orange strawberry tomato. So I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll save seeds from it. I don't know if I'm going to offer seeds from it. It depends on how many more I get off the plant. If I get a few more off the plant and I get enough seeds, maybe I'll offer it as a limited edition on my website, and then I can sell you some of those seeds. But I don't think I'm going to have that many seeds. You can see that this tomato really doesn't have a lot of seeds in it. Okay, it's not that much. So I'm not getting a lot of seeds per tomato, and I don't know if that's worth sacrificing, you know, 5-6 tomatoes to get the seeds. I'd rather eat the tomato or something like that, you know. I mean, I'll save some of the seeds so I could grow it next year and hopefully get a bigger harvest. But I don't know if it's worth destroying the tomato to get all the seeds out of every tomato so I can offer it on my website. I might offer it as a limited edition. I'll make five available, and once they sell, I won't offer any more. Something like that. But that's it. That's your tomato review for the orange German strawberry tomato. And like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.